Welcome to Guitar Town. This is the rarest guitar in my collection. It's it's one of the rarest American guitars in the world. It's not the most valuable guitar in my collection. It's not worth nothing, but it's made by Gibson. It's called a Marshall Special, and it's an endorsement guitar. Gibson did a lot of that, and a lot of their endorsees were teachers. And a woman named Lillian Marshall taught, and I think she taught Hawaiian guitar somehow. I think the way that she taught had to do with the Hawaiian craze. But this guitar certainly has a Hawaiian theme if you look at it. Twin volcanoes on it. Now, there are two of these guitars known to exist in the world. Now, like I say, the rarest doesn't mean the most valuable. I've got guitars that are worth a lot more money than this. So as George Groom says, bubonic plague is rare, but no one wants it. But people do want this guitar, and there's been a lot more interest in collecting these special, basically L Gibsons and LO Gibsons that size. This one's super lightly built. I'm scared of it putting anything heavier than 11s on it. That's what it's had on it since Tom Crandall got a hold of it, and he owned it for several years. And it was one of the first things up on the wall when T.R. Crandall opened, and it was the first thing I bought out of there. This and the L10 that I showed you earlier. I bought them at the same time. But it's a spruce top, mahogany backs and sides. What's really interesting is the fretboard, and this is why this particular one's very unique. The fretboard is made of celluloid, and if you see those, they're almost like dominoes without dots. It's a pattern that goes up the neck, and if you see that sort of pearly finish to it, it's not mother of pearl on the headstock as well, and it says Marshall Special on the headstock. It's the stencil on Hawaiian scene is there. It's pretty cool. Twin volcanoes. That looks like Maui to me, man. Maui kind of is two volcanoes. It's celluloid fretboard. It's made of cellulose is celluloid. All made from either cotton fiber or more commonly paper. Fiber, like wood pulp, basically. And it's one of the earliest plastics. It is a plastic. It's a plastic with an organic base rather than a totally synthetic one. This is what was coming next. It's nitrocellulose, the lacquer that's used on most guitars, comes from the same source. Very flammable. That's probably why there are so many rumors, most of which aren't true, of guitar factories burning down. This is an amazing sounding guitar. I've used it on several records that you've heard. I used it on El Coyote, my record store day single a while back. And I used it on John Henry was a steel driving man on the last record. There are two of these known to have been manufactured according to Gibson's records. And I guess there were no more than two ordered. That's the only thing. We just know there's an FOM, a factory order number, FON is called, for Marshall Specials on one day, and only two have been found. So they would have all had the same factory order number if they were ordered the same day. This one, there was another one that, what I hear through the grapevine is someone tried to straighten the neck using heat, and the celluloid sort of evaporated. It's very flammable, like I said. And this one is intact. Tom Crandall works on it, got it in playing shape, and it's a great guitar. It takes a little wrestling. The lightest built Gibson guitar I've ever seen. There's some Martin guitars from the 20s that are this lightly built, and it just rings like a bell. But it's like so I'm gonna play John Henry because I recorded it on this guitar. And yes, by the way, I did. I feel like it's appropriate to say I did base my John Henry song on Justin's John Henry song. They Killed John Henry was. I was very proud that my son had created a John Henry song. There've been a lot of versions of John Henry and a lot of songs about the John Henry legend, and my son wrote one, which made me very proud and a little jealous. So when I was writing the songs for Coal Country, which is a West Virginia story and about men versus a big machine, basically, because those guys all died because of proper operating of a huge machine that mines coal, called a continuous miner. I got the idea of making my own John Henry song, and it was actually an homage to Justin. That's part of the guitar riff in this. Like I said, I based it on Justin's John Henry song. So. John Henry was a steel driving man. John Henry was a steel driving man. He died in West Virginia with his hammer in his hand, dreaming about him all across the land. John Henry was a steel driving man. He beat the steam drill down and he died. Beat the steam drill down and then it died. And it didn't change nothing, but heaven knows it tried. He's buried with his hammer by his side. He beat the steam drill down and it died. John Henry. It's cold beneath the mountain down below. It's cold beneath the mountain down below. The company come to take it, but the work was hard and slow. So there ain't no money and it will just go. It's cold beneath the mountain down below. And the union come and tried to make a stand. The union come and tried to make a stand, and West Virginia miners voted union to a man. You never know it now, but that was then. The union come and tried to make a stand, and the company brought in all the big machines. Well, the company brought in all the big machines. Cut more coal in an hour than a ship could in a week. John Henry could have told them what that means. Come brought in all the big machines. John Henry was a steel driving man. John Henry was a steel driving man. He died in West Virginia with his hammer in his hand. About him all across the land. Henry was a steel driving man. 1930 Marshall Special. See ya.